You need a governor who knows that there's some things that are more important than getting elected. And that just maybe American democracy is one of those things. You know, there were times where I had to say no or disagree with my own base and my supporters because I thought that there were some bigger principles at stake. There were times where, as president, I couldn't just do the expedient thing or even the popular thing because there were some things I thought that were important enough. I had to do what I thought was right. If somebody's not willing to do that, if they're willing to say anything or do anything to get elected, then they do not deserve to hold the highest office in New Jersey. By the way, if that's not enough, New Jersey, here's the real kicker. Here's the real kicker. Back in the 90s, when he was a local council member, apparently Phil's opponent supported an effort to ban swearing. Now, I'm not from Jersey, but I know that's a bad idea. If we didn't have any cameras around, I'd tell you just how bad an idea that is. Because there are times where you just need to express yourself. New Jersey, come on. That's not serious. And these are serious times and we need serious people. We have too much to get done to be going backwards. Here we are trying to recover from a global pandemic that has killed more than 700,000 Americans, put millions in harm's way. We don't have time to waste on phony culture wars or fake outrage that the right-wing media are peddling just to juice up your ratings. We should be building on the progress we've made, not tearing it down. That's not what this election's all about. That's not what you need, Jersey. So instead of forcing schools to cut back, we should be doing more to support the people who are educating our kids. Instead of asking middle-class families to bear even more of a burden, we should be asking those who've been fortunate enough in this economy to be doing better than ever to pay their fair share of taxes. Instead of spreading misinformation or disinformation about the last election, we should be trying to strengthen our democracy, encouraging people to vote. We are at a turning point right now, both here in America and around the world. There's a mood out there. We see it. There's a politics of meanness and division and conflict, of tribalism and cynicism. And you know, we could go down that path, but I tell you, that is the path to ruin. The good news is there's another path. One where we pull together. One where we solve big problems together. One where we rebuild our society in a way that gives more and more people a better life. That's the choice we face. A choice that I believe will define not just the next few years, but the next few decades. It'll determine what happens with our kids and our grandkids. You know, and when I look out at these crowds, you know, some of these young people were 2, 5, maybe just born when I was elected, maybe weren't born. I was at a rally in Virginia, and this guy raised his hand while I said that. He's like, I was a few months old. I said, oh, well, yeah, okay, good for you. But when I see young people, I see my own daughters. I just saw Phil's kids backstage. They were tiny when I first met them. Now they all grown, got whiskers. The boys do. I'm sure Phil thinks the same way I do. You know, it makes you think about what kind of world are we passing on to? The thing about being a parent is that there are two cliches that are absolutely true. One is, man, they grow up fast. And the other cliche that is absolutely true is you will do anything for them. You will do anything to make their lives better. You will sacrifice anything for them. You'll jump in front of a freight train. You will wrestle a bear for your kids. And so right now we're helping to determine what kind of democracy are they going to inherit? What kind of planet are they going to inherit? What kind of economy are they going to inherit? What are we leaving for them? That's our choice. And I'm here today because I believe, New Jersey, you will make the right choice. I believe America will ultimately make the right choice. I believe you're going to show the rest of the country and the world we're not going to indulge our worst instincts. We're not going to go back to the chaos that did so much damage. We're not going to fall for distractions or okie doke. We're going to move forward with people like Phil leading the way. But in order for that to happen, we need your help. We need you to vote. And listen, I know people are tired of politics right now. You know, look, I'll be honest with you. I don't watch the cable shows. It's like, no. When we're at home, usually, like, I'll be reading something, and Michelle, if she's watching TV, she's watching HGTV or Food Channel. She doesn't want to see all that fussing. So I understand why people are tired of politics. It just seems ugly and the same, nasty all the time. And some folks are just tired, period. I understand that too. I understand why people are frustrated. We thought the pandemic was just about done. Then Delta comes, throws us for a loop. People feel cooped up, not sure what's safe. All these arguments going on. Even about, like, wearing masks or getting vaccinated. The science says it's the right thing to do. You do it because you're not just protecting yourself, but people you love, people who are vulnerable. But, you know, I don't know how folks just decide everything's got to suddenly be political. But I understand why people want to know when this is all going to end. I know why sometimes folks just get tired, and maybe they say, I'm not going to bother voting this time. But here's the thing, we can't afford to be tired. I remember in 2016, folks said, I'm not inspired. Obama was okay, but we didn't get everything I wanted, so I'm just going to sit it next time. And y'all know how that turned out. That's what happens when you're not paying attention. That's what happens when you become complacent or you let your frustration lead to inaction. We cannot afford to be tired because of the young people here and the ones who are coming. I know it's hard. Phil doesn't claim he's going to solve every problem in New Jersey right away. I didn't solve every problem when I was president. But the fact is that as hard as it is, we can still make it better. It's hard to undo the legacy of discrimination that goes back centuries, but we can make it better. It's hard to deal with special interests who want to keep the status quo when you're trying to make the economy more fair and just, but you can make it better. It's hard in a big country where people disagree to get everybody moving in the same direction, but we can do better than we're doing. We really can. We can make it better. And when you've got the right person in the job, we might not get every single person employed, but we can get more people, more jobs. We may not get every child the best education in the world right here in Newark. We can give a lot more kids better education here in Newark. I didn't get every American health care, but boy, we got a whole lot more people in America health care. It makes a difference when we decide to make things better. When you've got somebody in your corner who's shown you that they will work for you, who has a track record of accomplishment. You got to go out there and work for them. Not because everything's going to suddenly be perfect but because it's going to be better. And you're preventing others from making it worse. When you've got somebody like Phil who's responsible and serious, he's worth fighting for. So you got to get out there. Show the cynics you're willing to knock on doors for Phil, to make calls for Phil, to tell your friends and neighbors what's at stake. We don't have time to be tired. What's required is sustained effort. You know, I was about to come out, and I know it's starting to drizzle a little bit, so I'm going to wrap this up. I remember, since I had to kind of warm back up, I hadn't been on the campaign trail for a while, so I was doing some reminiscing. I remember my first presidential election, and on election night I spoke in Grant Park about a woman, 106 years old, who had voted for me, a woman named Miss Ann Nixon Cooper. 106, right? So that means that she was born in 1902. And I tried to imagine everything that she had gone through in her life. A black woman born in the shadow of slavery, deep in the midst of Jim Crow. A woman born at a time when women didn't have the right to vote or participate in public life in meaningful ways. Born at a time where there really weren't cars on the road or planes in the sky. Certainly didn't have the internet. And yet, she described how the minute she had a chance to vote, she was going to be there. Each time she got a chance to vote, she didn't miss one, including up to the time where she had the chance to vote for the first African-American nominee of a major party who had the chance to become president of the United States. She had witnessed all that, and I thought to myself, if Ms. Cooper is not tired, then I can't be tired. If John Lewis wasn't tired, getting beat by folks on horseback trying to cross a bridge, we can't be tired. If folks who had to fight for union rights across the country weren't tired, we can't be tired. If suffragettes weren't tired of being treated like second class, they were tired of that, but they weren't tired of changing it, we can't be tired. You can't be tired. Go out there, fight, work. You are going to decide this election in the direction of New Jersey and this country for generations to come. Do not sit this one out. Make sure you vote for Democrats up and down the ballot, including state legislatures where a lot of important work gets done. If you do, if you're not tired, if you work, if you vote up and down the ballot, if you get your friends and neighbors to vote, if you do all that, we will elect Phil Murphy again. We'll elect Sheila Oliver again. We'll build up our majorities in the state legislature. We'll keep New Jersey moving on the path to a better future. Thank you, New Jersey. Give Phil Murphy 4 more years. God bless you. God bless the United States.